Oh man, it is so hot. Let's get the old jack wet off. Oh, that is better. So, welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm in the local woodland and I've sat on this log that just so happens to have one of my favourite ever quotes written on it in a plaque. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. I think I did that in school or maybe university or something, but isn't that just beautiful? W.H. Davis, I think he's Welsh, perhaps a Welsh poet from what I remember. It's definitely a Welsh surname at least. A beautiful quote, and I don't know, I love it when a quote, just a few words on a plaque, really gets you thinking, you know. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I wanted to do something a bit different this week, and it's all about gear. Just a classic what's in my bag. I haven't done one in ages, well over a year, and I get so many questions from you guys, which I appreciate. I appreciate each and every one, and I really do try my best to reply to you all, whether it's Instagram DMs, email, or on YouTube. The overwhelming majority of those questions are all about gear, and that's completely understandable. You know, there's plenty of questions that you might have about gear that's quite hard to find the answer to by just a classic Google search, you know. So it's always good practice to ask people, especially if somebody like myself uses the gear. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make it, oh my knee, I'm gonna try and make it fairly brief, because I could sit here and talk about gear for ages. But yeah, I love gear as well. It's definitely worth saying that. You know, a lot of photographers out there, myself included at times, say things like, you know, it's not about the gear doesn't matter. Regardless of whether or not that's true, you know, that's personal opinion. I still love gear in a really geeky sort of way. I love sitting and researching gear. For some reason I find it quite inspiring. So I'm really happy to sit here and talk about it. One more thing before we get into it. There's 3 pieces of gear within this setup here that I have got for free from companies very recently. And obviously I'll tell you guys what that is, just to try and stay transparent. You know, I always want to tell you guys what I get for free. The main reason being is because it's you guys. You're the reason why I'm allowed to get gear for free, which is absolutely amazing for me. It's such a privileged position to be in. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so naturally, let's start with my camera and my 3 lenses. Camera body, Nikon D7200. I don't need to talk about this too much on this channel, I don't think. You know, if you watch me regularly, you know how much I love this camera. And I've no intention of changing it. If you want to hear me talk about this camera a little bit more, I made a video just a few weeks ago actually. I'll put it up in the corner, where I basically list a few reasons as to why I think this is still a mint camera, even now, a fair few years after its release date. But yeah, that's not to say I'm not always researching, not always, but I research quite a lot about other camera bodies, other brands, and that's just something I enjoy doing. Like I say, I like gear and I enjoy researching. For some reason I find it quite inspiring. It's a bit weird. But yeah, like for example, off the top of my head, I love the look of the Sony A7R range. They look fantastic for landscape photography. I also love the look of the newer Nikon mirrorless cameras, the Z6 and 7, etc, etc. But yeah, this gives me everything that I need as a landscape photographer and more, so I've no need to change it. Now onto this lens, which has quickly become my most used lens. This is my Nikon 16-35 f4 lens. I love it, and I actually get a fair few questions on this lens because it's a full frame lens, and obviously I'm using it on a crop sensor body. A lot of people just basically ask me why, which is a fair question. It's fairly unorthodox, but the only reason is because it's a good lens. I don't care that it's a full frame lens or anything, and it's an ideal focal length for most of my photography, whether it's woodland or out hiking or lakeside, anything like that, coastal. This seems to be on my camera body like at least 80-85% of the time, and it's just a really good sharp lens. I've noticed a fair improvement from upgrading from my 18-55 kit lens. Now the only issue I'd say with this lens is that it only goes up to 35mm, whereas my kit lens went up to 55, and because my telephoto lens is a 55-200, you can see there I'm losing like 20mm which actually is a little bit annoying. I didn't think it would be, but yeah, I often find myself wanting to shoot in that no man's land bracket of 35mm to 55mm, so perhaps that's something I'll have to look at sorting out. Get away, but for now, what are you doing, man? It's fine, it's dealable with. So naturally that brings me on to my 55 to 200 telephoto lens. I absolutely love it. At least 80-85% of the time, again, I'm content with the sharpness. Sometimes the sharpness isn't the best compared to my other two lenses. Usually when it's like fairly dark and dull, low light situations, I'm not really sure why that is, but other than that, I absolutely love it. I'm going to put an image up on the screen now, put it here, that I captured in my last video with this lens. I absolutely love that photograph, and that's going in my calendar, my 2021 calendar, and it's so sharp. I was quite surprised when I got it into Lightroom. I was editing it because it was taken on this lens. It's ridiculously sharp, and yeah, I think photographs like that keep stopping me from wanting to upgrade to like maybe a 70 to 200 f4 Nikon or something like that, because I'm always kind of thinking, well, why? Like, this is still a really good lens and it's so light. So that's them two lenses. Finally is my wonderful Tokina 11 to 16 f 2.8. So I bought this when I lived in New Zealand, when I got my D70-200. Bought it second hand and they came together. This is such a mint lens. I've never even thought about changing my wide angle. Super sharp, and obviously a fantastic focal range for a landscape photographer. With that being said, I don't use it as much as I used to. I think when I was first getting into landscape photography, I was mad to just shoot everything wide and capture the wide vistas. Obviously it does have its uses, but I usually like to use it when I'm trying to include some sort of foreground down at the bottom of my frame, that sort of thing. Super sharp, absolutely love it. That's all that needs to be said. What next? Filters. So this is the first bit of gear that I've got for free, and I actually want to stop and say a thank you to you guys. We all know how business works, we all know how marketing works. It's down to the support that I receive from you guys, your willingness to keep watching my videos, commenting, liking, engaging. That's the reason why I am able to be in this wonderful privileged position to receive free gear, which is obviously amazing. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. It's absolutely class, and I'll always try my best to return the favour with good video content. That's all I can do, really. So yeah, basically Nissi, I want to give you a little bit of a brief story behind the pieces of free gear that I've got, how I came to acquire it, whatever. They contacted me, which was really, I felt really proud, you know. I love Nissi filters. I bought them with my own money way back when, like in New Zealand, before I even had this YouTube channel. So for them to contact me a few years later really made me feel like, oh, you know what, this is nice. I've come a long way. I love Nissi filters, and yes, absolutely, I'd love to receive free filters from you guys. Now, of course, like I just said, we all know how marketing and business works. They, apart from the cost of the filters that they send to me for free, they basically get free advertising. But for me, that's like all parties win. I get free gear, they get their advertising, their marketing, which is wonderful for them, and it's a company that I'm more than happy to support. And you guys get to see me use them, and you get my honest opinion. Let me say this now, I wouldn't even use gear on this channel if I didn't think it was worth recommending to you guys. I don't see the point in that. I have received free gear in the past that wasn't any good, so I've contacted the company and sent it back. I'm not going to come on here and berate a company's gear, that's just disrespectful. So I've got, you might have noticed I've changed my filter setup recently. I'm so happy with it now. I've got rid of all my square filters. I've still got my Nissi square filter set up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. This is a bit of an extended trial really, but I've changed to circular filters. So I've got a 6-stop ND, I've got a 10-stop ND, a 15-stop ND, and my polarizing filter. That is it. That is it. And step down rings if I want to use it on this little lens, my 55 to 200, which I don't really do. Nice and minimalist. No square filters knocking about the gaff as well. Just bracketing. You know, I don't want to use ND grad filters anymore. I'm more than happy to bracket. I enjoy post-processing, So this is the perfect setup for me. And of course, this wonderful little pouch as well, which I like. It holds 4 filters, so helps me achieve that minimalist filter setup, which I'm absolutely loving. Honestly, it's class. Let's put the gear on here, so I'm not getting overwhelmed. Right, what next? Let's go for this beast. Ye old Mavic Pro 1 drone. What a mammoth. I'd love to have the Mavic Pro 2, of course. We all would love to have the latest gear, but this does everything I need and more. Same as the D7200. It's class. Just adds such a wonderful dimension to my videos, as I'm sure you guys will agree more than anybody. You know, having watched my videos twice a week, it just allows me to get really nice camera angles for my video shots. Particularly enjoy it when I'm in mountainous areas. It really helps me to get the grandeur across of these beautiful mountainous scenes that I'm very fortunate enough to visit on the regular. And yeah, I've also started using it, as I'm sure you've noticed, in the woodland. It's really nice in these intimate scenes as well, just to glide through the woods. And yeah, it just is a really good storyteller for my videography. And I'm really happy to share with you guys some of my videography tools as well as my still stuff, because I know a lot of you guys maybe have your own YouTube channels or you're interested in videography as well, and I know that because I get a lot of questions off you, which I appreciate. Like I say, I tried to get back to you, so that's why I'm including all my videography stuff in this as well. Now let's get on to this. I've recently got this slider from Zeppon, which is a Chinese company. It might be based in Hong Kong, I'm not too sure. This is another free piece of gear that I got. And oh my god, this is class. Like, you've probably seen a few of my sliding shots recently. I've only been using this really for about 2 weeks. What a beast. I've been looking at sliders for a while. It's fairly heavy, I will say that, but that's not something that bothers me. But just to try and tell you, you know, just to try and keep it as factual as possible, it is pretty heavy. You can take the motor off and use it by hand, which is also cool. But yeah, the weight doesn't bother me. Oh man, it's so good, and I'm so incredibly grateful and privileged to get stuff like this for free. This was a no-brainer really, because it helps to improve my videos for you guys to watch. So as soon as they contacted me, I was like, yes, absolutely. And of course, you know, going back to the whole marketing thing for Zeppon, I know a lot of you guys are into videography. I can happily recommend this piece of kit. It's quality. It's absolutely unreal. Should we get it on? Let's have a little slide, shall we? There we go. So obviously this would usually be mounted on my tripod. My video tripod, which is obviously filming me now. Across it goes. It's got 3 different speeds. It's just class. Like, it's quality, and I highly recommend it if you're into your videography. This is straight out the top drawer. Right, let's put you away, mate. What next? Let's stay with videography, and I will talk about let's go with my audio setup. So at the minute, my video camera is obviously filming this video, but I've got my Rode microphone on the top. Now I've also got this Zoom handy recorder H1N and a lavalier microphone, which of course has its uses. The thing is, like, I think that the sound quality is better with this and with a lav mic compared to my Rode mic that's currently recording the audio now. But it's fairly negligible. That's good even when it's windy. But as a videographer, Jesus man, it saves me so much time. I don't have to remember to turn this thing on when I'm out. The amount of times I'd forget, or I'd have the volume on the wrong setting. It was just something else to think about, something else to carry in my pocket. And then not to mention like trying to synchronize the audio in post-processing. It was just something else to make the editing process take a lot longer. Whereas this Rode microphone, because this is on my video camera, I put the video file straight into Final Cut Pro, which is the editing software that I use, and I don't have to, that's it, the audio's there, like with the video. It's absolutely class. So yeah, that's a huge advantage. It's absolutely mint. What else are we going to chat about, Henry? So I need to mention my camera that's filming me. I'm going to say it's a Canon M50, EOS M50. I am going to say, in earnest, that is my best gear purchase of the past. I'm going to say it's the best gear purchase I've made since I've been into landscape photography. I'm going to take that back. Since I've been into making YouTube videos. Quality of the microphone setup, which I just explained, it just makes my life a hell of a lot easier. Flip round screen, it's got the audio input so that I can have the microphone set up, which I just explained to you. Interchangeable lenses if I want it to have that. It has like it doesn't have digital zoom, which is just rubbish. It's got like a physical zoom on the lens, which is amazing. Like, what else? There's definitely a couple of other things as well as to why I wanted to. Hang on, let me think. Oh yeah, I just remembered. It's got a bigger sensor. It's a crop sensor camera, same as my D7200 actually. Whereas the last video camera that I used was a Canon G9X, which was still great. The sensor was much smaller on it, so it wasn't very good in low light conditions. Whereas this is a hell of a lot better in comparison. What a gear purchase! Just makes my videoing so much easier. I just wish I'd bought it ages ago. Like, I think I got it for about 450 quid off eBay with the lens. So much better, like absolute class. So my video tripod, I guess, is something that you guys never see. I did have a Manfrotto compact action for years, which I'd highly recommend. Like, it's actually the first tripod I ever bought, and I used it for stills at first, but when I had a Nikon D30-100, and it was class. I've recently had to upgrade because of my slider, which is, like I said, fairly heavy, and it just wasn't the best at holding it. So I've recently got a Manfrotto Element Traveller Big, I believe it's called. Maybe Elements, plural. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it so far. It's mostly positive. The only thing is, it's got them sort of twist lock legs, which I have to say at the minute I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate. I'm not sitting on the fence with that one compared to the flip lock on this my stills tripod. I'm hoping it's just because I'm so used to the flip lock, but Jesus man, it's so annoying because, right, flip lock, it's either flipped or it's not. Terminology, it's either flipped or it's not. It's either open or it's closed. So, you know, like that, it's a twist. See, you don't just twist it once, you can keep twisting it. It's like a screw. So you can twist it. It's probably just user error, to be honest. I'm more than happy to admit, like, I'm a bit of an idiot with things like that. But half the time I think I've screwed it short and the legs are falling out, or the other way around, which is even worse. I think I've tightened it up, the tripod's up, and then one of the legs starts slipping with the camera on the top. Whereas if I had a flip lock, I wouldn't have that problem because it'd just be flipped shut. But like I say, that is probably me. Everything else with the tripod, pretty much, is really good. It's got a mint ball head on it. It's higher than my old compact action tripod. One thing that is absolutely rubbish, Manfrotto, sort this out. Jesus, I'm just going to film this on my phone. Right, hiya, that's me, alright. So that's my video setup there. And that used to say Manfrotto on it. Guys, I've had this for a week. Like, this thing just peeled off. It's not a big deal, it's just the friggin' brand, but come on, like, it just peeled off like this piece of plastic. So now it doesn't say Manfrotto on it, which I don't really care, but I just don't think it's a good indication, as the car keys, of quality, if the brand's just peeling off. That being said, I really like Manfrotto tripods. I wouldn't really put that down as a bad experience. So, on to the next one. This is the stills tripod, Manfrotto 055, carbon fibre, millions of different letters and numbers that mean nothing to me, but that is the model number, so I'll put it up on the screen. Reluctantly at the time, I remember this because I was starting to try and invest money into my photography and my videoing, and I spent probably about 150 quid extra to get the carbon fibre version, but I'm so glad I did. I feel like this is, oh there it is, MT055CX Pro 4. I've probably already put that up on the screen, but yeah, just love it, it's class. The tripod itself has fared me so well. It's needed a fair bit of maintenance, especially if I shoot coastal and I've got like seawater on the sort of joints and brackets and stuff. I need to make sure that I clean that out every now and again, but not like super often. But yeah, it just seems like the perfect weight. Thing with tripods is you need, you want a tripod that's fairly light because you're lugging it about, especially if you're like me, you're going up mountains, wild camping, all sorts. But at the same time, you don't want it too light because it's still got to serve a purpose as a tripod, and it's got to keep your camera stable and steady. If you follow me on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, go and follow me. I talk a fair bit about gear and stuff on there, I guess, but yeah, it's this plate at the top is terrible, and it's, if you've got this ball head, the ball head's class, as is the tripod, like I said. Jesus man, it's just a plate on the top. It was crap, absolute garbage. There's no two ways about it. Again, that's something I'm not sitting on the fence about. I still love Manfrotto and I still continue to use them and recommend them. It's something that they've pretty much like accepted was a problem, like a bit of a manufacturing defect maybe. And they were super helpful. The customer service with Manfrotto have always been mint. But I've bought this cheap tripod plate clamp off Amazon. It was a tenner and it's way better than the Manfrotto one. Basically the Manfrotto one was a little bit of a crazy design when Arca Swiss is just so simple. I don't know why it had to be so complicated, and it was just getting jammed up, but it happened with everybody's. And that, I've sent that back to Manfrotto now, and in reference to their wonderful customer service, they're actually sending me out a completely new clamp, which is like Arca Swiss, and yeah, happy with that. So I can't complain there, but overall, love the tripod. I've just thought of something, going back to my stills gear, that I forgot to mention, and that is my L bracket. Like man, I get a lot of questions about gear. For some reason, everybody is mad for this L bracket, or just L brackets in general. But I understand it because I was. I remember when I first seen people using them, and I was like, Jesus, like what's that? You can just put your camera on your tripod like that. You don't have to have it on its side. Nothing wrong with having your camera on an angle on its side, by the way. I just prefer the ease of use that an L bracket gives you. But yeah, this is a good one because I really vividly remember shooting without an L bracket at first and just not knowing the first thing about them, so it's completely understandable. This just goes on the bottom of your camera, screws in to the bottom, and allows you to either shoot in landscape. It's not screwed in at the minute, so I'm just being a bit of an idiot. Landscape orientation, let's just put the camera down, mate. Or portrait, sorted, proper quick, super simple, and I would never be without one. This one's like a pig iron one that I found on Amazon. I had to do tons of research. It doesn't fit the Nikon D7200 perfectly. I'd give it probably a 9, 8.5 out of 10 if I'm being fussy. And that's just because of, I wish I'd have just left the thing on. This section here basically covers those ports, the mic port, and most importantly where I put my remote shutter in there. So I have to have it kind of pulled out a bit like that, still screwed in, which is fine, but it's just not a perfect fit, but it doesn't bother me in the slightest, like top drawer. Right, Jesus man, I just thought of something else that I need to mention. One sec. Oh yeah, my remote shutter. I just said that to you guys, didn't I? My remote shutter. I love long exposure photography, so I wouldn't be without this little mammoth. And yeah, it's class. Just allows me to get exposures that are longer than 30 seconds. Nikon MC-DC2. You can just get a cheap one on Amazon if you want, if you don't want a Nikon one, or whatever brand your camera is. But yeah, that's mint. I'll get to the bag in a minute. I've got in these netted areas here just spare batteries for my video camera. I always have 3 batteries. I don't think I've ever used all 3. I usually use 2, sometimes just 1 on an average video that I film. That's that for my photography gear really. So a few more bits that I'd like to show you guys because I know you're interested. Firstly, this bag. Oh, it's so good. So you'll know that I used to use my Low Pro, that black one, that also had the Cumbria badge on it. I got one for this bag as well. Get a look at that, what a county. Best county in the world, in England. Nah, I'm proud to be Cumbrian, proud to wear the badge. So the bag, Mineshift backlight, 26 litre in woodland green. This is class, and this is the 3rd and final piece of gear that I got for free. What an honour, like honestly what a privilege to be receiving a bag that's worth like 230 quid for free. I am so incredibly grateful, and again, that is down to you guys. This has vastly improved my photography and videography especially experience. Basically my Low Pro that you always saw me with, my black one, fast pack BP2 250 AW, something mental like that, was class, and I will continue to use it when I'm not making videos occasionally. But it was just getting too small. Nothing wrong with the bag, and I still recommend that bag to people that ask me. This is just that little bit bigger. Pouches and pockets galore. I basically, it gives me, I don't think there's a perfect bag out there. Everyone will say that. There's a couple of things that I wish could be changed, but they're very, very minor. But yeah, pouch on either side. You can put a tripod on either side. You can put a tripod in the middle as well. It's got this bracket that goes around the top, a strap that goes around the top of the tripod. This bit comes down here, reveals a pouch for the bottom of your tripod to sit in. Not something I'd use, to be honest. I'm happy with the 2 at the side. So when I come out, I have my stills tripod on one side and my videography tripod on the other. Really comfy to wear, incredibly comfortable to wear actually. They do a 36 litre version as well. I suppose this will give you a good idea of how much you can fit into a 26 litre one though. I'm glad I didn't get the 36, this'll do mate. This is, oh god, you can't even see, sorry guys. This is all completely customizable. I still haven't got it quite right, but yeah, obviously, you know, you can change this to however it suits your gear. 2 little net pockets there, whatever, you can fit your batteries or whatever in there like me. And best bit about this bag for me is, and I'm sure so many of you can relate to this, like other landscape photographers, just this section at the front. Like, come on, we have so much more out with us other than like just your camera and a couple of lenses. If I'm going on a hike, I want food, I want extra jackets, pants, like all sorts. And this section is just unreal, like, so it kind of extends out, and you can see there, that's a pretty big mouth, that's a pretty big gob, and you can fit loads in there, like it's class. So what crap have I got in here now? Probably a couple of water bottles. That is a rain cover that comes with this Mineshift bag as well, which is straight out the top drawer, obviously good for living in the United Kingdom. This is a piece of gear that I brought with me deliberately because I wanted to mention it. I find stuff like this really interesting because you know, a lot of landscape photographers wouldn't include this as gear. To me, stuff like this is really essential, and what I mean by that is I would never have placed a lot of significance on having a bit of hot food or something if I'm going out on a hike, but I've quickly started to realise if I don't eat enough, something fairly substantial, I have no creativity. My creativity just gets sapped because I'm hungry, I just want to go home. So things like this to me are actually really important because it means that I'll stay out for longer, you know, and make videos and capture, you know, it sounds ridiculous, but a nice hot meal might be the difference between me staying out for an extra couple of hours and capturing that beautiful light on the side of a mountain, you know. So I actually hold a lot of importance for things like this. Same, for example, as like a rain jacket. Living in the UK, it makes it more comfortable to be out shooting in the rain. It's as simple as that. And for me, that's a really priceless piece of kit. My down jacket, my Rab down jacket, I've said that before. It makes me want to be out in winter. It makes it more comfortable for me to be out. So it's a priceless piece of gear. So yeah, the jet boil is class. Absolutely love it. Bit of gas there. That one's probably a bit big for the jet boil, but I want to use it up. Another water bottle. And there was still a lot more room in here, by the way, guys, as well. Here it is. If you watched me recently, as the first aid kit. Walked into a branch the other day, which has kind of forced me to get one. Should have had one anyway. What else have we got in here? And you got this smaller front pouch as well, which is good. I've got like a little combat survival kit that I got off my brother. Hopefully I won't have to use that one too much. What's going on in here now? That's my ball head for my slider. So the slider goes on my video tripod, and then I've got a ball head, so I can obviously move my video camera around a bit more. This, oh man, what a piece of gear. This Olight Perun torch, this is class. So in line with what I was just saying about waterproofs, jet boil, things like that, this fits in perfectly, if not more. Such a bright head torch. And so yeah, sorry, I just had to reset the camera. It stopped automatically because I've been blabbering for a long time. I don't even know if you are still watching this. Thanks a lot if you are. But yeah, I was saying about this head torch, absolutely class, and has given me a lot of confidence to go on sunset hikes, sunrise hikes, things like that. It is so bright. It is Wembley Stadium on my head. Like it's mint, and gives me all the confidence in the world to hike down from mountains in the snow, whatever. This is the Olight Perun. Highly recommended, and yeah, spare battery like I think I mentioned. Just mint, like unreal. We've got a fork there, guys. Camping fork, nothing special. Jesus, I've got a lot of gear, haven't I? Let me just see. Oh yeah, I brought this out with me. Don't know why. Again, this is just one of them things that it really inspires me to get out and about. I'm actually going down to Devon, maybe Dorset tomorrow. However, I don't think I'm going to do any photography. It's just a bit of a camping trip with some friends. These are class. Photography in Cornwall and Devon, there's a Lake District edition, North Wales, South Wales, Snowdonia Mountains, Scotland, and they're currently writing more. I follow them on Instagram, PhotoView. Says it at the bottom, I think, does it? No, it says it at the back. And yeah, they're doing something like Iceland and Northumberland, freaking Wiltshire, like all over the shop. So yeah, they're mint. If anything, just great for like inspiration, location inspiration. Gives you like compositional guidance. Tells you where to park, even that sort of thing, which is super helpful. That's it, guys. That's it. Look, I'm going to put links to every single piece of gear that I've mentioned where possible in the video description below. They're all going to be affiliate links. If you decide to purchase any gear through those links, I may earn like a small commission. It's really not a lot. Like, it adds up to probably like a tank of petrol per month, which I'm super grateful for. So yeah, thanks for the support. If you decide to purchase anything through them links, that'd be class. And yeah, I suppose I'll give a mention to my boots. I love my Scarpas. I'll never be with another brand because these are absolutely unreal. And again, like the rain jacket theory, I'm going to call it. This gives me the confidence and it makes it more comfortable for me to go out on big hikes. And essentially, that gives me the opportunity to capture more photographs. It's that simple. So they're an essential piece of kit, in my opinion. So yeah, absolutely mint. If you've got any questions about this gear, please comment below. Any thoughts, negative, positive, whatever you want, comment below, and I'll try my best, or I will get back to every comment. on YouTube. I really try and make a point of that. One last thing to mention is, within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be releasing information on my 2021 calendar. It's going to be available as a pre-order. I'm going to offer free worldwide shipping, although shipping's got more expensive, but I did that last year, so I'm going to honour that again. Super excited to release it. Some of the photographs are amazing that I got last year. It's only when you put together a calendar, when you have a project like that, that you realise, wow, I got some nice shots last year. And yeah, any support through calendar purchases will be hugely appreciated. So stay tuned for that. Again, follow me on Instagram for all that sort of info. Anyway, I'm going because I'm just chatting away. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Out.